Ladies and gentlemen, I am a Bangladeshi person, well, Bangladeshi passport holder, citizen of Bangladesh, but I am also a cricket fan. Okay, I have extended family members who have played cricket in the past, and I myself have played county cricket for Yorkshire for 4 years. So, needless to say, when something like this happens, I will have to give my 2 cents in. And I'll try something new here. I will try and also mix in a little bit of Urdu and Hindi because this involves uh, the Pakistani cricket team. Assalamu alaikum सब लोगों को मेरा नाम है तनवीर साहिद YouTube में मेरा नाम है दी बंगाल ड्रैगन प्लीज़ ये वीडियो को लाइक सब्सक्राइब और बेल नोटिफिकेशन बटन क्लिक कीजिएगा so please do hit that like, subscribe, bell notification buttons. Now, I am aware of the incident that happened. जो वाक़या हुआ है इधर न्यूजीलैंड ने पाकिस्तान सीरीज पोस्टपोन कर दिया खारिज नहीं किया है लेकिन पोस्टपोन किया है The New Zealand have postponed the series, not cancelled it. एक security alert की वजह से due to a security concern, a last minute security concern. ये 11th hour बोलना ये सही नहीं होगा क्योंकि मैंने जो सुना है कि आधे घंटे पहले की बात है तो 11th hour and 30th minute because apparently the match is going to happen and half an hour before the toss it was called off. So at that very last moment the tour was called off due to a security alert. Was it Wazir Azam, Prime Minister? Imran Khan साहब मैंने जो सुना है कि Tajikistan में थे. He was actually on a diplomatic mission, I believe, in Tajikistan, former Soviet Union nation. But from there, he actually had to call Jaswinder Erdogan, I think, no, or am I getting it wrong? The Prime Minister of New Zealand, New Zealand के वज़ीर आज़म को कांटेक्ट किया डायरेक्ट फ़ोन से कि आप प्लीज़ न्यूजीलैंड टीम को मत हटाएं हमारा सिक्योरिटी में कोई कमती नहीं है कोई there is no deficiency in our security that we are providing to the players at the Rawalpindi area, the stadium and the hotel and whatnot. But New Zealand were adamant, and from what I hear, कि New Zealand cricketer वो कमरे से ही नहीं निकलने चाहता था क्योंकि उन लोगों का हुक्म आया उनकी हुकूमत से कि आप लोग कमरे से मत निकलना. So like apparently they got briefed by New Zealand, the intelligence agencies that please do not leave your room. And after that, they had to have an evacuation. मैंने YouTube में बहुत इसके बारे में वीडियो देखा है. शोएब अख्तर साहब क्या कह रहे थे, रमीज़ राजा का क्या ट्वीट था, बाबर आजम का क्या ट्वीट था. People like Shoaib Akhtar, Ramiz Raja, and other people like Babar Azam, many people, what they said or what they tweeted, I've read or come across a good amount of it. और पाकिस्तान का disappointment बिल्कुल वाजिब है. It's absolutely expected, and it is absolutely reasonable to conclude that Pakistan definitely are going to be upset. क्योंकि आखिरी वक्त में आने के बाद जितने पाकिस्तान का पुलिस है, फौज है, जवान है, इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी है, प्रेसिडेंट लेवल का सिक्योरिटी दिया था, because see, making security, okay, around, because if you see the pictures, obviously I've never been in Pakistan. In fact, I've never been in India, so like let alone Pakistan. Like in the subcontinent, the only country I've been to is Bangladesh. But arranging security in a country like Pakistan for a cricket match, like I've seen the pictures, okay, I've seen just what everyone else has seen. I've seen the pictures. It is a very complicated and very intense ordeal. It is a very serious matter. फिर भी आखिरी वक्त कुछ भी हो सकता है. Last moment, anything can happen. Because we live in a dynamic world. We don't live in a stagnant world. इसलिए वो जो पाकिस्तान का जो प्रेजेंटर है, पता नहीं, एक चश्मे वाली एक औरत है, पता नहीं उसका नाम क्या है, डॉक्टर समथिंग, और कुछ और लोग, like a few other people, a few of the Pakistani media people, they're saying that, well, this is unjustified because the Pakistani security team and the New Zealand security contingency, they came and assured everyone that Pakistan is safe for cricket. That was then. We live in a very dynamic world. Anything can happen at any point. You can get a threat from any point. But on the other hand, I have seen some people, एक जोकर है इंडिया टुडे का, एक पाकिस्तानी को लाता है, एक हिंदुस्तानी को लाता है, right? Like there's a clown on India Today show. He gets a Pakistani, he gets an Indian, okay? Surprisingly, the microphone and the video feed for the Indian is better than that of the Pakistani. The Pakistani's microphone chops up. Okay, उनका माइक्रोफोन क्वालिटी में भी फर्क है. इंडियन का माइक्रोफोन क्वालिटी पाकिस्तानी से ज्यादा अच्छा है, वो इंडिया टुडे के शो के ऊपर. और इंडियन प्रेजेंटर का वॉल्यूम भी ज्यादा है, पाकिस्तानी प्रेजेंटर का वॉल्यूम इतना कम है कि पाकिस्तान, बेचारा पाकिस्तानी को चिल्ला चिल्ला के बोलना पड़ता है कि अगर आम आदमी देखेगा तो बोलेगा कि इसका तो दिमाग सही नहीं है. Because the poor guy, like even his microphone levels are turned down. Okay, so he has to scream at the top of his voice just so that he can be heard. Just so that he can be heard. And ladies and gentlemen, this is news media entertainment, okay? CNN does this, Fox News does this, okay? You name it. If they are a so-called biased news agency or one of the very big ones or backed up by government or something, they do this all the time because they have nothing but to drive an agenda. And like honestly, that's what most of journalism has turned into today. And it's surprising. Listen, and like to these journalists out there, okay, I consume a decent amount of news channels, okay. I consume the information from Fox News, from CNN, from MSNBC, okay. If all of you are making RT look unbiased by comparison, then you know that you might be making a lot of profit, but your credibility is like, to the common man, that doesn't feel that news deserves money, because news is news. Why should I pay you to tell me what's going to happen? What's happening, 3 blocks down the road. Like, why should I pay you extra? So, like, credibility-wise, this is why people are losing credibility and they're looking for alternate news sources. But, उन लोग का भी ये कहना कि ये हिंदुस्तानियों का भी कहना कि ये ऐसे वाकया बहुत बहुत बार हो चुका है न्यूजीलैंड के पाकिस्तान में 2009 में जब श्रीलंका की टीम आई थी when Sri Lanka toured Pakistan in 2009 ये भी हुआ था it happened न्यूजीलैंड के दौरे में 2002 या 3 में एक वाकया हुआ था like something happened with New Zealand also in the past ये पाकिस्तान अब वो पाकिस्तान नहीं रही okay like this is under the presumption that the Pakistan that there is right now nothing has changed and this is the same Pakistan of 2002 2003 and like you know what why start there you know go even more back this is the same Pakistan of 1971 so in a dynamic world like like even those type of arguments make no sense लेकिन न्यूजीलैंड तो बेवकूफ नहीं है okay they're not stupid New Zealand are not stupid they would have had some type of intelligence or they would have had perhaps a legit reason to actually leave Pakistan the way they did and yes I understand Pakistan are mad and I sympathize with Pakistan and I believe they have every right to be mad. They have every right to be angry. Because not only is New Zealand not going to tour, England भी बोल दिया कि हम शायद टूर नहीं करेंगे वो 24 से 48 घंटे में एक नोटिफिकेशन जारी करेगा like within 24 to 48 hours even the ECB England they're saying we might not tour और इसके बाद ऑस्ट्रेलिया का भी आना है उसके बाद शायद जिम्बाब्वे या वेस्ट इंडीज को भी आना है okay like there is a trickle down effect a chain reaction effect this chain reaction effect is why most Pakistanis and the Pakistan establishment whatnot they're so mad and in the end it's bad for cricket it's bad for Pakistan cricket यार पाकिस्तानियों को किसी वक्त ऐसे लगता है कि पाकिस्तान क्रिकेटरों को सजा दी जा रही है कि उन लोगों के पास पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट है sometimes maybe the Pakistani players feel like they're being punished for being Pakistani like they're cricketers specifically me specifically see like I know the reality that not only cricket nothing will not have politics you keep saying that keep politics and sports aside politics is not only in sports politics is in each and everything in education in the health sector in the military obviously in the military sector in the environmental sector everything in the food production sector in the government sector everything there is हर चीज में पॉलिटिक्स है ये वाकया है ये हकीकत है this is the reality but how I feel personally is that I would like to see the least amount of politics as possible because cricket is a small fraternity right now okay like especially men's cricket yeah women's cricket also a authority but like I'm more concerned with men's cricket because like that's what I watched growing up and obviously like I do wish women's cricket all the best and I do want them to succeed and like if possible if you can actually have mixed like intergender cricket like I mean like a team with both men and women I wouldn't be opposed to that at all as long as all people can perform equally all people can perform as well in the same in the team like like I don't want anyone to be in the team and because of their biological makeup they are a liability then like obviously like you're focused on performance so you would actually replace that person with another person who has better performance regardless of their, their gender or gender identity or whatnot. Like, but getting back to this, we're a small fraternity, or इसी वजह से, like, this is why we need to support each other, and this is coming from a position of empathy essentially. क्योंकि जब बांग्लादेश में एक इंसिडेंट हुआ था, एक ऐसा दौरा आया कि कोई भी टीम बांग्लादेश में टूर नहीं करना चाहता था. ये वो क्या एक रेस्टोरेंट में जो एक वाकया हुआ था, like, some incident that happened in a restaurant in Gulshan. I know, like, it was a bad incident, and also, like, some people got stabbed or something. But yeah, when so many teams boycotted Bangladesh, or like didn't want to tour Bangladesh, I felt that pain. So I know what it is like when you are a supporter of your cricketing team and so many other people around the world look at you at a negative light. Okay, on top of that, इसके बारे में मुझे पहले से मालूम नहीं था. Okay, I did not know about this. I actually, through my research, I learned about it. जब न्यूजीलैंड में हमला हुआ था, शायद पाकिस्तान पहला टीम था जिसने टूर किया था. जब ये इंग्लैंड में कोविड-19 के लॉकडाउन हुआ था, ईसीबी ने बोला कि तुम इंग्लैंड में आके कुछ क्रिकेट खेलो, हम 2 T20 पाकिस्तान में आके खेलेंगे एज अ टोकन ऑफ ग्रैटिट्यूड. और भी कुछ ऐसे वाकये हुए थे. Okay, because one thing about Pakistan, if you've been following Pakistan cricket, okay, they are philanthropic. They like to help other boards out. They helped out Afghanistan when Bangladesh were just starting out. They helped out Bangladesh. So they have a philanthropic side to them that they don't bull crap about too much, okay? And this is why, इसी वजह से ये पाकिस्तानी कौम के frustration और गुस्सा मुझे मालूम है, like, मुझे समझ आता है. I understand the people of Pakistan's anger and fury that Pakistan is just being made a whipping boy of international cricket. That the Pakistan is a team not to be taken seriously anymore. So that type of humiliation, I get it. But like I said, New Zealand are not stupid. They would have had a very good reason to actually leave Pakistan. उनके पास कोई ना कोई ऐसे एक बहुत ही serious वजह होगी कि they should have heard something very serious because of which they came back. Now, अब बात आता है कि अगर एक threat इतना serious था, एक serious है, because obviously life is more important than cricket. Maybe the New Zealand ambassadors or the citizens with New Zealand citizenship or whatnot might be also called back, because if it is that much of a security to every person from New Zealand, then okay, like, maybe we'll see that, because that's, like, we've seen that happen in other countries, that when there's a threat to a country, specifically a country's citizens, those citizens are ordered by their government to either come back or lock themselves in their houses or something along those lines. We've seen this in international politics. Okay, this is like, this is General knowledge. This is general knowledge. So I am trusting that there should have been something that caused New Zealand to take this decision. And with this one sentence, इसी के वक्त एक और what's it called? जुमला, like sentence. Okay, एक और sentence के साथ मैं इसी को खत्म करता हूँ इधर, like this train of thought. I'm gonna end it with this one sentence. Okay, this is general knowledge. If you Google it or Wikipedia or whatever, or if you follow any news, there is an intelligence group called the Five Eyes. I believe the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. These five nations, I believe they make up the Five Eyes. Maybe they heard something. I'm just laying out possibilities out there because वो पाकिस्तानी शो में एक पाकिस्तानी शो में हुआ था कि ये करने से न्यूजीलैंड को कोई मुनाफा नहीं है. New Zealand does not benefit anything from this. और इस शो में जो आया था, इसके contradictory में एक statement करूँगा. Like someone on this on one of these shows, these Pakistani shows, said that India might profit from humiliating Pakistan. No, India has nothing to gain. India has enough money. Their BCCI has enough money. They gain nothing by not telling by halting cricket in Pakistan. So I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with with the BCCI, because like I said, the BCCI they already essentially control the entirety of of cricket, or have the most influence. They gain nothing by New Zealand pulling out. So my conclusion of this is, everyone, please, let's remain patient, because the news just happened. Let us see what the aftermath, इसके बाद क्या होता है, इसके बाद क्या वाक़या होता है. Let's see what manifests from this, this threat and whatnot. Let's see if the Pakistanis hear anything and they say that yeah, it was legit. Because once again, what was surprising was that obviously the intelligence thing on a government level works in a completely different way. But maybe Imran Khan, once he comes back to Pakistan, maybe that time his intelligence officers will tell him something. I don't know. Let us see what comes out in the news, and let us try and keep conspiracy theories at a minimum, people. Okay, let us work together. And ऐसे कुछ बेगैरत लोग हैं, absolutely बेगैरत, there's some disgusting people that are actually celebrating this, that ये देखिए कि ये पाकिस्तानी मीडिया का कैसा रिएक्शन है, ये देखिए ये सब इंडिया को दोषी कर, like, hey, look at the Pakistani media reaction, they're only blaming India. Yeah. Every team has the right to say no at the last moment, even if they feel a little bit unsafe, despite all the commitments and despite all the preparations that went into Pakistan, because Pakistan is not habitable for cricket in the first place. And Jacinda Ardwan actually spoke to Imran Khan. Imran Khan must feel proud and whatnot. I'm like, please, let's be civil about this, okay? कुछ शर्म करो लोगों, कुछ शर्म करो. Think of the Pakistani cricketers. Think of the Pakistani fans, okay? How hurt they must be. Were this your nation? Were this India or Sri Lanka? Well, Bangladesh. Well, we've been there, so we know how it feels. Was this like England or Australia, or was this your cricketing nation that you vehemently support? And all of a sudden, the wrath of the rest of the cricketing world is upon you. You obviously wouldn't feel good, right? So please come from a place of empathy on this. Okay. And as for Pakistan, let me tell you this. If this works the way I think it's going to work, Pakistan will enter this World T20 with a massive chip on their shoulder. They will have a point to prove, and they will make this point, or they will try and make this point by not only defeating some of their opponents, but by making examples out of those opponents in their defeat. They will, I'm pretty sure some of them will have the fire in them to actually try for this. Because, see, us South Asian people, yeah, call us sensitive and whatnot, like, you call us like, hyper reactionary and whatnot. One thing many South Asian people don't tolerate well, एक बात जो South Asian लोगों को अच्छा नहीं लगता, like, one thing that they don't tolerate that much, उनको हजम नहीं होता, वो है जिल्लत, बेइज्जती. They don't like, especially on such a global level, they don't like being humiliated. Alright, please do hit the like, subscribe, bell notification buttons, and please do put down in the comment section below what are your thoughts about this whole situation. This is your boy from Reside, the Bengal Dragon signing out. Let us support the entirety of cricket, because we have to support each other. Being such a very small group, we have to support each other so that cricket itself can actually grow and prosper.